Why you should choose the beautiful New Zealand as your next expansion country. Although on the other side of the world, New Zealand and Canada have lots more in common than you may think. The first thing they have in common is language. They both speak English, which will make for a much easier transition for things like advertising.
They also have a very similar landscape as Canada. For example, look at those pictures. You can't tell which is New Zealand and which is Canada. They are known for many things Canadians are known for, such as hiking, skiing, and loving to be outside. This will help because our cultures are similar, so our cultural awareness is already good without having to do much research at all. Another significant thing is the style of furniture New Zealand uses. The furniture isn't much different from the furniture in Canada, so we won't have to make many changes while making the furniture there. Even if the furniture is a little different, this is okay, because first of all, it's unique.
Also, New Zealand has a huge tourist population, which means that hotels and resorts will need furniture providers. With such a large number of these tourists being Canadian, the resorts would want the Canadians to feel at home, and they will if they are seeing furniture from a company which originated from where they are from. It also means you have a better chance at getting contracts from the resorts, because they want to support their most popular audience and hopes more people will come and then everyone will stay happy. Another reason New Zealand makes an excellent first expansion place is its economy.
New Zealand has the second fastest growing economy in the entire world. This will be good for Simply Elegant because, as everyone knows, the economy has rippling effects, so when it rises, this means that disposable income increases, unemployment rate becomes low, and confidence prompts people to pump their money back into the economy in essential and non-essential goods. This means we are at the best time to start a company here because our audience is the largest it's ever been and is projected to keep growing, which will result in the company gaining very high profits in New Zealand. Also related to the economy is the amount of the Canadian dollar compared to the New Zealand dollar. The Canadian dollar is worth 10 cents more, meaning that when your company decides to come to New Zealand, you can be more profitable as the currency is worth more in Canada. Trade is also something which is very important when thinking of a country to expand to. New Zealand is perfect for this as they have an excellent relationship with Canada and they are both a part of the Commonwealth of Nations. The Commonwealth of Nations was created for international cooperation and to advance economies. This means that people in this treaty have better relationships, which results in more trading.
Canada and New Zealand began trading in 1985, and the amount they traded has grown exponentially since. In 2017, they traded a total of $1.2 billion worth of goods, which was enough for a 7% increase from the previous year. They even started a non-stop service between the Auckland and Vancouver airport in 2007 to make sending resources there and back easier. This will benefit you because if you need to send materials back and forth from Canada and New Zealand, there is an easy and reliable way to send things. Since we are expanding to a place far away, in order to cut costs, we should order materials straight to New Zealand as opposed to getting them from our home country. We ensure you that you can do this because they have 11 free trade agreements with countries around the world and are in negotiations with several more. New Zealand is trade partners with several powerhouse countries like China, which will be able to give us lots of materials for a cheaper cost, and it's much closer than Canada. Hong Kong is also a country which has an agreement with New Zealand, and they just happen to be the largest export of leather, according to the World Exports website. This is good for you because leather is very important when making couches.
GDP is another thing you should take into consideration when expanding to a new country. When GDP is growing, firms can hire more workers and can pay higher salaries and wages. This then leads to more spending from consumers on goods and services. What this means is that a higher GDP results in a better chance of people buying more furniture. According to the World Bank, New Zealand is perfect for this because their GDP has risen more than 400% since 2000 and rose from $185 billion to $205 billion last year. A $20 billion rise is a lot of couches. We hope you're already convinced that expanding to New Zealand is a great option. If you aren't fully sold, there's more. New Zealand was ranked first for countries to expand to from a source called the World Bank, and that's a reliable source. It is ranked first because it takes less than 3 days to start a business there, and that's extremely quick to get permits and to be an actual business. Also, it's considered the most business-friendly country in the world, so after those quick 3 days of starting up, you will be excelling right away. The demographic is also important for New Zealand, as it is the largest of the islands around it, so it holds the keys to promising Pacific Island markets. This is important because after we expand to New Zealand, another expansion around it won't be hard because New Zealand sets precedent for surrounding islands.
Like we touched on before, the style of furniture doesn't need to change much, if any. New Zealand residents are similar to Canada, so the styles will be similar, and some of our audience includes resorts, so the furniture won't need to be changed at all. This will save Simply Elegance lots of money on having to restyle and research furniture norms there. For advertising, we determined we would advertise to resorts by emailing their managers and owners and going there and pitching our furniture. In the pitch, we would cover the quality, cost, and that we were from Canada, much like their biggest vacation audience is, and hopes we get their business. For our home market, we would create print ads as well as TV commercials to try and attract an audience. In these, we would mention that we are designed in Canada because New Zealand is known for liking Canadians, and we would also say that we are made in New Zealand because everyone likes when things are made in their own country.
Since all furniture is similar and we are a new company, we need to differentiate ourselves from the competition. So we are going to go for a humorous commercial so people remember us and our roots. We would have a stereotypical Canadian who is wearing a snow coat and rides a polar bear, and then a stereotypical New Zealand person who is tanned and likes wearing floral shirts. And they can share a couch, and we can have a slogan that's something like, no matter what you do, Simply Elegant is the couch for you. To conclude, New Zealand is an excellent destination for Simply Elegant's first expansion country. The Canadian dollar is worth more so we can make more money, the furniture is similar so we don't need to make many changes, and getting the materials there will be easy with so many good trading partners, and that's just the beginning. So what do you say? 3 days from now, Simply Elegant could be up and thriving halfway across the world.